Good evening. The biggest protest in Ontario in more than 20 years will be taking place here tomorrow in front of Queen's Park. An estimated 28,000 educators will be blocking this road and circling the legislature. We haven't seen anything quite like this since Mike Harris was the Conservative Premier in 1997.
Bill 160's gotta go! Hey, hey!
23 years ago, it was the biggest education strike in Canadian history. A bitter battle was playing out between unions and the Conservative government over Bill 160, which would overhaul the education system, transferring power from local school boards to a government that wanted to be able to set class sizes, increase teaching days, and cut prep time, with a goal to save $500 million. Did teachers win 23 years ago after a mass protest?
Oh, there was still significant damage done by the Harris government to the education system, and it was never fully undone. So
how effective are these mass protests then?
Well, you know, we slowed down the advance of the Harris onslaught. We mitigated the damage to a great extent.
And the goal now, 23 years later, is to try and stop the current government's plan to increase class sizes and introduce mandatory e-learning.
This is a government that wants to eliminate 1 out of 4 high school teaching positions. That's actually worse than what Harris did.
Now, to be fair, if they drop their increase to 25, it wouldn't be 1 out of 4 teachers eliminated or positions eliminated, would it?
You're right. Then it would be 1 out of 8 high school teachers, which is pretty much in line with exactly what Harris did.
In addition to the rally at Queen's Park that will surround the legislature, pickets will be set up across the province, and 20,000 educators from all 4 unions will join a 30-kilometre picket line on Hurontario, from Mayfield to Lakeshore. The Ford government got off to a tense start from the get-go with teachers' unions. The Premier has called them thugs and imposed a 1% salary increase cap. It didn't set the table for easy negotiations. Has your government mishandled this and put unions in this position?
I think the decision point to escalate rests with the teacher unions, who have made the decision to escalate against each and every premier over the course of the past 30 years. 2 million students should be in class tomorrow. These strikes are impacting the very kids that we all purport to care about.
Now, there are other issues as well that unions are fighting for. All-day kindergarten, for example, maintaining hiring practices. Those are just some of them, maintaining special ed services. The protest will begin at 10 o'clock right here tomorrow and go till 1. Drivers, avoid the area. It's going to be a mess.